Every day, hundreds of thousands of patrolmen report for duty, armed with a badge and the latest in video technology. You are about to witness their never-before-seen footage. Their stories, caught on tape. Tonight on Disorderly Conduct, a packed train slams a semi. Police open fire, and a suspect takes aim at a cop. A $30,000 sting knocks down some suspected drug kingpins.
Under your hands, you will die.
A drunk man takes a swing. A drunk woman goes ballistic.
You bastard!
It's a lineup of suspects behaving badly on Disorderly Conduct. Oxnard, California. A man sets up 2 cameras to videotape this railroad crossing. He wants to capture video evidence that proves the crossing is dangerous. One camera is to the north of the crossing, one to the south. It isn't long before the cameras record sounds that indicate a train is approaching. The railroad barriers come down and every vehicle clears the track. Every vehicle except one. An Amtrak train packed with passengers slams into a semi-truck. Fearful of an explosion, other motorists try desperately to get away from the smoky wreckage. Stunned witnesses try to comprehend what they just saw.
Did you see that happen?
Then there's an amazing sight in the midst of the carnage. The driver of the semi-truck steps out of the cab and calmly walks away carrying her dog. She even returns to the truck to retrieve some belongings. The camera records more stunned observations.
She should have been dead. She is lucky as hell. Oh my God!
Investigators review the video to try to determine the cause of the crash. It shows the truck driver stopped near the tracks. She is pulled ahead of the flashing lights and apparently doesn't hear the bells or see the barrier come down. When the signal light turns green, she drives onto the track. As the light turns red, she comes to a complete stop in the middle of the tracks. She later tells police she never saw the train coming. The truck driver is cited for failure to clear a railroad track. And despite the fact that the train was nearly full, there are only 2 minor injuries. Whittier, California. Deputies surround a young couple at the end of a pursuit. When an officer points a gun at the driver, he pops it into reverse. Then the car sails across the sidewalk and slams into the back of a dumpster. Moments later, the situation takes what could be a deadly turn. Since this is a residential area, officers are concerned that innocent bystanders are in danger if the vehicle gets away. So when the driver rams a squad car, they open fire. The couple have luck on their side. Despite the fact that he's directly in the line of fire, the bullets only graze the driver. His female companion turns out to be even more fortunate. Here you see her actually dodging bullets. But moments later, she emerges from the car uninjured. So why did the driver risk death for both him and his companion? Turns out he simply wanted to avoid arrest for a suspended license. Clark County, Mississippi. A man flees from a police checkpoint. During a driver's license check, officers spot a shotgun in his car, and the driver takes off. An officer shoots out one of the tires. The tire's gone, and Clark County Deputy Milton Davis and his partner are right behind him. The suspect runs on the rim at 75 miles an hour, and that's a game warden truck ahead.
At different times, it become very dangerous, and the reason why, when he was meeting a car, he didn't mind running them off the roads.
The car fishtails, but the suspect keeps control. It's 11 minutes into this dangerous high-speed chase, and the officer comes up with a plan. They want to try to box him in and stop him. It appears to pay off. This may be over. The officer's reaction says it all. The chase is back on again. And he almost hits an oncoming truck. This pursuit is into its 19th minute. He swerves off the road. And this dangerous chase becomes a deadly confrontation.
I had to make a decision on what to do. I knowed I couldn't shoot him faster than he could shoot me because he had the final draw on me. So all I could do is just fall backwards. And as I fell backwards, he shot. He hit my patrol car and also my hand. At that time, I hollered, "I'm shot," on the radio.
I've been hit! I've been hit!
Deputy Davis is not seriously injured, and after a short standoff, the suspect surrenders. The man who leads cops on a 22-minute chase and then opens fire on them faces 8 years in jail for aggravated assault on a police officer.
I've been hit! I've been hit!
There's a lot more disorderly conduct straight ahead. Suspected drug dealers pick the wrong guys to sell to.
Give me your hand, you will die.
And this driver picks the wrong guy to take a swing at. It's all coming up on Disorderly Conduct. All pursuits are dangerous, but this one presents a triple threat. Police suspect the driver is high on drugs. He speeds at more than 90 miles an hour, and he's a 2-time felon. If convicted again, he faces up to 25 years in prison under California's 3 strikes law. The man sped off when police tried to arrest him as he harassed customers at a gas station. Now his actions threaten motorists along California's Interstate 5. The ex-con speeds past dozens of cars in a 3-county chase, but he loses control when he tries to get by an SUV. A highway patrol officer rams the convertible, but the driver still refuses to stop. Then officers decide to utilize the precision immobilization technique, otherwise known as the pit maneuver. Officers hit the vehicle 4 separate times, but the driver still accelerates. Finally, a CHP unit hooks bumpers with the car and forces it to stop. With guns drawn, officers rush in and yank the suspect from the car. Officers later find illegal drugs in the vehicle, and the driver faces charges: evading police, possession of a controlled substance, as well as hit and run. That karate move's a sign the action's about to kick into high gear. Inside room 212 at the Holiday Inn in Springfield, Ohio, a big drug deal goes down, and it's all caught on 2 hidden cameras. These 3 suspected drug dealers want to buy pounds of marijuana, pills, and even crack cocaine, and they make their drug deal with an undercover cop. The undercover officer counts the cash. They have no idea they've just handed $26,500 to an Ohio detective. Now one suspect boasts about the strength of some drugs. While one of the men discusses another deal on his walkie-talkie.
I know, but you got my said that for the price of this, it's going to be real pissed off yourself if you don't get it. All right, I'll come. You might just go ahead and take it.
The officer heads to the closet to get a bag for the money. And that's another sign for the officers who watch this as it happens from another room. But one of the drug buyers seems suspicious. The undercover officer watches him intently as he wonders if his cover is blown. Seconds later, the suspected dealers are quickly cuffed while the undercover cop still plays his role of drug supplier and lies on the ground.
All right? Be cool. Put your hands behind your teeth there.
One officer then videotapes all the evidence, including the drugs used as bait. And that bag full of $26,500 worth of drug money. Now, all 3 suspects serve time in Ohio's Clark County Jail. A driver runs from police at more than 100 miles an hour. A spike strip shreds the 2 right tires as he speeds across Southern California, from Los Angeles to San Bernardino to San Diego. He carjacked his truck after stealing an SUV. And officers don't know if the passenger is an accomplice or the truck's owner being held hostage. Now he loses 1 tire completely. Chunks of rubber fly off from his other flattened tire. The driver uses every inch of the road and right shoulder. The man's driving becomes more and more erratic as he swerves across all lanes of the freeway. And then the driver loses control. The truck rolls 3 times. It crushes the cab and hurls the passenger into the brush. The passenger lies motionless and may be seriously injured, but that doesn't concern the driver. He still tries to get away. Cops want to end this show now. With guns drawn, they head down into the trees. While another officer takes no chances with the unconscious passenger. It turns out he was an accomplice, and he's cuffed. Now the cops are in the undergrowth and determined to flush out the driver. These police officers get their man. But his partner in crime is so seriously hurt, he has to be airlifted out. After leading police across 3 counties, finally ending in this violent crash. suspect is charged with grand theft auto and felony evasion. Next up on disorderly conduct. Desperate men take desperate measures. And later,
Hey!
a suspect flips out.
No! You f***ing bastard!
Stay with us for more disorderly conduct. Police pursue 2 bank robbery suspects through busy downtown Los Angeles. The occupants are believed to be part of a gang that robbed a bank in Bakersfield before fleeing down Interstate 5 at speeds topping 100 miles an hour. The car's already been in one collision and starts to smoke. As he tries to swerve onto the other freeway, he hits the traffic pylons, loses control, and ricochets off one barrier head-on into the divider on the other side of the freeway. This is very dangerous, but these men are desperate. They survive the leap off that 12-foot wall, but officers spot them. One's caught, and the other's arrested in a nearby garage. Both men are booked for felony failure to yield while police investigate their involvement in the bank robbery. In Valley Brook, Oklahoma, Captain Mike Stamp pulls over a driver he suspects of DUI.
Step over here so we don't get run over, partner. Anything to drink tonight, sir? How much have you had to drink? And be honest with me, because I'll be able to tell, okay?
I've had probably 4 beers.
Why don't you put your cigarette down for me for now? I'm going to give you some field sobriety tests so I feel safe for you to be driving tonight, okay? Follow with your eyes and your eyes only, keeping your head still, okay? Okay, you need to focus on this, not me, okay? Okay, try it again. Okay, don't anticipate, just follow this.
I keep on looking at you, okay.
Just place your left foot on that line, take your right foot, place it heel to toe in front of it, and just stand that way for me. Just stand, just like that. Do the best you can. Steps how heavy you take?
9.
Okay, how many did you take?
9.
No, you took 10. This last test, Mr. Smith, what I want you to do is take whichever leg is most comfortable for you. I don't care which one. Take your other ground about 6 to 8 inches. I want you to point your toe upward and count out loud. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. And try to go to a count of 1030 for me, okay?
1001, 1002.
Just relax. Start over at 2 and just keep going.
Yeah, Mr. Jones. So damn nervous.
Just relax.
1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
Captain Stamp decides he's seen enough, but unfortunately for him, he hasn't seen everything.
Why don't you grab your wallet right there for me? Why don't you turn around and face your truck? You ever been arrested, sir?
Please.
At this time, I'm placing you under arrest for driving. Right there, hold it!
The man throws a right hook that just misses the captain's head. And then he stumbles into his truck and rips out of there. The officer may be stunned, but he's not about to let this guy get away. After a 3-mile pursuit, the truck comes to an abrupt stop. The driver gets out and gives up, along with his 2 friends. A routine sobriety test turned ugly for this officer, but in the end, he came out on top. The streets are crowded in St. Ann, Missouri, but that doesn't slow one driver trying to elude the police. He drives all over the road and heads down the wrong side of the highway. His car is starting to smoke, but one cop's determined to stop the chase before this guy's motor blows up. The patrolman's right on it, and there's a stretch of open road. This is his big chance to perform a pit maneuver. a safe end to a very dangerous pursuit. And this cop gives us a textbook lesson on pulling off that perfect pit maneuver. It's early morning in South Jordan City, Utah, and cops chase a domestic violence suspect. Officer Bill Bagshaw has no idea he's seconds away from a life-altering experience.
Two officers had cleared the intersection. I was approaching the intersection when the first officer advised the suspect had made a U-turn and was headed back my direction. I had time to think this is probably going to hurt just before impact.
The suspected felon's truck slams headlong into Officer Bagshaw's patrol car. Bagshaw is badly hurt with multiple leg and wrist injuries.
I went to twist my body to try to kick the door open. I realized that my legs weren't working and I couldn't feel them.
The suspect also breaks his leg, but Officer Bagshaw spots him outside his patrol car.
At that point, I really began to panic. I felt very alone. A wave of fear started to come over me.
Moments later, officers arrive and take the man down. Now he faces 30 years in prison. Meanwhile, Officer Bagshaw recovers from the brutal accident that could have easily taken his life. 12 weeks later, he's back on the job. More disorderly conduct is just moments away. A woman just doesn't seem to get it.
What are you guys arresting me for?
I told you, DUI.
And a driver is trapped inside a burning car. That and a whole lot more coming up on Disorderly Conduct. Officers in Memphis, Tennessee realize this truck's stolen. They hit the sirens and the chase is on. The suspect just misses a car as he takes a hard left turn. The sign says 30 miles an hour, but he travels at more than twice the legal limit, and that's why this happens. This time, he completely overdoes it. But just when you think this is over, a second patrol car joins the chase as the truck flies down the sidewalk. He drives through the stop sign, turns a hard right, and then the suspect's luck finally runs out. Completely out of control, he spins the truck and slams into the curb and a utility pole. The perpetrator flees on foot, but he's quickly captured and charged with theft of property, evading arrest, and possession of a weapon. The miracle is, no one was injured during this high-speed pursuit.
Driving on the rim.
An Oklahoma City officer pulls up behind a woman with a flat tire. Since it appears that she's unaware of the problem, he activates his emergency lights. When she ignores the lights, the officer flips on his siren. But she continues as if nothing's wrong and pulls into an apartment complex.
She's still not stopping. She's going into a parking space.
The driver takes a parking place, and the officer calmly walks up to assess the situation.
Hello.
Hi.
Any reason why you're just now stopping?
No, I didn't see you.
Didn't see me, didn't hear me with my siren behind you?
No, I did not.
Huh, did you know you have a flat tire?
Yes,
You know you have a flat tire?
yes.
Okay.
The woman decides she'd like to go inside, but the officer has other plans.
Why don't you come down the passenger side of my car right here?
Why don't you come?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Let's go. No, we're not going to play this game. Let's go over here. Come on. Ma'am, you have one option,
No, I never.
and that is to go with me on your own, or I will make you go.
The officer suspects that the woman is over the legal alcohol limit.
You're under arrest at this point
Where am I under arrest for?
for DUI, driving under the influence.
But the woman remains uncooperative.
I'm not going to play this game with
Hey,
you.
you
I'm not going to play
just
this.
me.
Oh, yeah.
I am not.
Oh, yeah.
When backup arrives, the situation intensifies.
No,
I'd play
nobody
that
is
up there.
taking my phone.
Oh, yeah.
No, you're not, you bastard.
No, I'm here.
What?
And she still doesn't understand why she's being detained.
What are you guys arresting me for?
I told you. DUI.
I am right here in my apartment.
When officers get her into the squad car, she takes her frustrations to a whole new level.
You got to sit down in the car.
Nobody is going at the back of the car.
Yeah.
No, you bastard.
Watch your head. There you go. Slide your legs in there. Slide your legs in there. Hey, hey.
You
Hey, I know.
butt.
We're not going to have this.
You bastard.
No.
I haven't done anything him wrong.
Yeah, you can.
No, I haven't, you
Yeah.
bastard.
Well, you have now for kicking
Where
me.
is my purse?
You have now when you kick me.
You son of a frickin' bitch.
What began as a simple stop for a flat tire ends with a felony arrest.
What are you guys arresting me for?
I told you, DUI.
The woman faces charges of DUI, driving on a suspended license, and resisting arrest.
Hey.
You
Ohio Highway Patrol units respond to reports of a fire alongside the road. Since it's the 4th of July, they suspect fireworks are involved. But as they arrive on the scene, it becomes obvious this is more than just a grass fire started by sparklers. That's a car fully engulfed in flames.
Is there anybody in it, you know? I don't know.
The trooper's only choice is to take immediate action.
Do it.
Priority number one is to see if there's anyone inside.
I can't see if there's somebody in it or not.
There's no time to wait for the fire department, especially if the driver is still in the vehicle. Without any protection from the flames, a trooper tries to break the window with his nightstick. Then the trooper's worst nightmare comes true.
Someone's in there.
A young woman is trapped inside the inferno, but at least she's alive.
Grab her. Come on, man. Where's she at? Is there anyone else in there? Get her out.
Troopers move the severely burned woman away from her car. Then all collapse under the strain of heat and weight. Now they have to convince her to choose life over death.
Ma'am, breathe. Ma'am, I need you to breathe. Ma'am, I need you to breathe.
Is she breathing?
She is breathing.
The woman is rushed to the hospital. It turns out she was on medication and passed out while behind the wheel. She lay unconscious as sparks from the crash caused the fire, which consumed her car. But she also has luck on her side and survives the ordeal. We've got more disorderly conduct just ahead. Don't like this guy's driving? Then stay off the sidewalk. And a suspected shoplifter is told to take his business elsewhere. There's more disorderly conduct straight ahead. Police in Des Moines, Iowa receive a call to be on the lookout for a man in a tan Oldsmobile suspected of a narcotics violation. Officer Terry Gomez doesn't have to wait long as the suspect flies past him. As he rides into oncoming traffic, Officer Gomez realizes this guy will do anything to get away. Even though he didn't shake the officer the first time, he decides to try again and nearly takes out 2 cars in the process. Up ahead, traffic is at a standstill. Officer Gomez believes he has the man trapped. But in a daring maneuver, the suspect gasses the Olds up over the curb, then drives down the sidewalk and back onto the road. Speeds climb to over 70 miles an hour. The suspect continues to try every trick in the book to shake the officer, but he can't do it. Once again, the fugitive drives into oncoming traffic, but this time, as Officer Gomez gets close, the suspect pulls a U-turn that nearly takes both of them out. But Officer Gomez isn't about to let it stop him from bringing this man to justice. Now, with several units in pursuit, the daring driver feels the heat. He presses his luck one last time into oncoming traffic and slams into a car. As Officer Gomez arrives on the scene, the suspect ducks out of the passenger side and attempts to run, but he doesn't get far. The chase is over with no major injuries, but the suspect is looking at not only drug charges, but eluding arrest and several traffic violations that will keep him off the road for a long time to come. Keep an eye on 2 people in this department store surveillance video. The employee on the phone is getting a call about the guy in the red hat. Watch her reaction as she's told he's a suspected shoplifter. She then calmly tips off another employee as the young man prowls the premises. Little does he know that cameras are watching his every move. At one point, he walks out of the store, but then he immediately returns. Here, he grabs a couple armfuls of clothes. He loads his loot into his bag and heads towards the entrance. By now, every store employee knows what's going down, and security is stationed at all exits. Outside, they get the goods on the guy and bring him back in. But this crook isn't about to go straight, and he's thrown to the ground, not once, but twice. Even though he's outnumbered, he continues to struggle until finally, the shoplifter is brought down to size and arrested. In Seminole County, Florida, police are in search of a white Chevy Blazer with 4 suspects wanted for armed robbery.
Definitely a Chevy Blazer, definitely a 4-door, black male. That's what information I have right now.
A helicopter spots the Blazer from the sky with a FLIR camera, which uses infrared technology to track the car at night.
We're northbound on Greenwood, doesn't appear to be stopping.
Speeds reach more than 60 miles an hour.
Would you look at speed? Speed is just 60 miles an hour.
And this driver shows no signs of slowing down.
Eastbound, 85 miles an hour.
The officer in pursuit decides he has to take out the vehicle with the pit maneuver.
314, sir. We're clear for a pit.
Sergeant, the road is clear. There's no traffic in the area. Good place for a pit.
Here we go.
The perfect pit slams the Blazer to the side of the road. The stunned suspects stumble out and attempt to flee. But officers are quick on the scene with guns drawn. A dangerous chase comes to a rather abrupt end thanks to the eye in the sky and a textbook maneuver. Next up on disorderly conduct, a man nails his pal with a knockout punch. A Beamer backs into big trouble. It's coming up on disorderly conduct. Cops have cornered a bad guy in a BMW. From the view of these two dashboard cameras, it looks like he's trapped. But this bank robber makes a quick withdrawal. With troopers on his tail, the robber races down the road. This guy is going backward at 50 miles an hour. It isn't long before cops catch up and get a second crack at him. As one cop car rams him, and another one jams him. Next, we can see the driver run for it, but he'll soon be captured. He's booked for armed robbery and felony fleeing. It's a hot summer Saturday night in Willoughby, Ohio. A police dashboard camera is running as officers keep order on a busy street. The cops are here for something else, but the camera is about to pick up a crime in action. Keep your eye on the two men walking away from the camera at the right of the screen. They seem to be having a friendly conversation, but it's about to go way over the line. Without warning, the bald man on the right unloads a paralyzing right hook that knocks the smaller man out cold and drops him unconscious into the street. A brutal assault captured by accident on police video. Even the perpetrator seems stunned at the impact of this sudden attack and tries to help the man to his feet. Willoughby police officers immediately converge on the scene, offering assistance to the injured man. But the victim is suddenly revived and gets to his feet, stumbling back the way he came with his attacker's arm around his shoulder. It might have ended there, but aside from the camera, there is a second witness on the scene. The man in the yellow shirt and white shorts saw it happen right in front of him. The attacker is walking away, but after a quick word with the witnesses, officers are in immediate foot pursuit. In the end, the attacker was arrested for assault. With this tape and an eyewitness to back it up, along with the victim who was lucky to walk away from a devastating punch. A courteous cop pulls over a motorist in Columbia, South Carolina.
How are you doing? Do you have your driver's license and your registration?
Seems there's a question about the car's license plates. With his back to the fast-moving traffic, the officer never sees this coming.
But that same tag is gonna be the one that's gonna be on.
That blue Ford pickup truck slammed into Trooper Sean Stankus. And he's in pain. The folks in the car he stopped quickly check on him. But although he's injured, Officer Stankus is a man on a mission. He's determined to get that hit-and-run driver. These concerned citizens witnessed the accident, and they forced the blue Ford over. It's hard to imagine why the driver didn't stop. For all he knows, he could have left a badly injured trooper lying on the highway.
I didn't see you, sir. I really didn't. I'm sorry. I want to arrest you. Have the right to remain silent.
Sorry isn't gonna cut it with the cop he almost killed.
I swear to God, I did nothing wrong.
This guy's off to jail, and Officer Stankus is on his way to the hospital to get his minor injuries treated. He knows on this day, a few more inches could have cost him his life. This driver's about to get a warm welcome to Alliance, Ohio.
How fast you were going, sir?
No, I guess not.
How fast did you think you were going? Wasn't thinking about it?
The driver was going 53 in a 35-mile-an-hour zone.
We have a slight problem, sir. We are showing that you had a driver's license, but it expired in 1969. Okay, 33 years ago.
That's right. When this 56-year-old's license ran out, the Beatles were still together.
Can I just ask you a question, Mr. Kern? Yeah. In 33 years, you've never been pulled over before?
Now that this 3-decade ride has come to an end, the man is searched and cuffed.
Okay, come on back to the start. I'll get your bag in a second here.
But this cop's in for one more shock.
Can you even see your speedometer, sir?
The man who cruised for 33 years on an expired license has a hard time seeing anything. He's legally blind. He's fined $250 and told he'll get $150 back if he gets a valid license in 60 days. Of course, that will also involve a vision test.
We are showing that you had a driver's license, but it expired in 1969, 33 years ago.
Cherry Sunday.
Get ready for the new Slammin' Saturday night. It's locked, loaded, and aimed straight at your bloodshot eyes. Get the away from me. With 5 hours of destruction, pain, mayhem, and action.
I'm gonna smash your little head.
Guaranteed to rock and shock you back to life. I can't even describe what I'm seeing. The new, ever more painful Slammin' Saturday night. The Hurt hits home Saturday, starting at 7.
Get him! Coming at you!
Wear a cup, only on Spike.